So I hear from women from time to time about how a lot of their husbands and boyfriends are idiots. And here's what that means, and here's what we're going to do about it. There's this verse in 2 Peter 3, verse 7 that says, "Husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way." What is an idiot? An idiot is someone who doesn't understand. Someone who can't read between the lines. Someone who doesn't see beyond the initial obvious layer. Someone who sees a toddler having a tantrum and thinks, if I have a tantrum, that will help the situation. That's an idiot. An idiot is a biblical word for fool. Someone who lacks understanding. The word wisdom is all over the scriptures. Wisdom is the word chokmah in Hebrew. It means skill or talent. A wise person is skilled or talented at life. A fool lacks skill or lacks talent. It's not really about IQ or intelligence, but it's about lack of ability or lack of competence. And so men want to be wise, not fools or idiots. And I see this play out in conflict, in particular, in marriage situations. A wife is upset. The husband doesn't understand her. He concludes she's crazy. He withdraws. The conflict ensues. Or sometimes it'll happen is she's upset. He goes, whoa, I'm going to give her space. He withdraws. Things kind of blow over, swept under the rug. Things aren't addressed. And the intimacy and connection erodes over time. Instead, husbands are to live with their wives in an understanding way. And this obviously means mostly exclusively in marriage, but it also applies to dating relationships, that the goal is understanding, to be not an idiot. And here's the deal, is if all men, myself included, would just assume that we are idiots, then we are going to purposefully overcompensate. If I go, I lack understanding, I need to pursue understanding, then that actually sets me free to go about digging and studying and unpacking my wife's inner world. What's actually causing her to tick? What are her hopes, fears, insecurities? What am I doing that's helping her feel safe and cared for? What am I doing that's getting in the way of her ability to let her guard down around me? And if I assume I understand her, first of all, people are always changing. My wife's always changing. I'm always changing. So even if you hit a point of understanding, by the next day, you have to assume we're developing, we're growing, we're changing. And so if a husband wants to live with his wife in an understanding way, it requires the assumption of idiocy and the assumption that I have what it takes to overcome that idiocy. That the Proverbs talk about drawing out the inner world of a person. And I want to be an agent in drawing out the world of my wife. And some people will go like, well, that's not fair. How come the husband has to understand the wife, but the Bible verse doesn't say that the wife has to understand the husband? Well, here's why. Because 1 Peter 3:7 goes on to say that because the man is the stronger vessel, he is therefore to show honor to the woman who is the weaker vessel, to live with her in an understanding way. For example, the more powerful person has the additional responsibility to be the one who pursues understanding. When you're in the more powerful position, you can just make demands. But when you're the less powerful person, you have to be pursued. And this idea of the husband as pursuer, wife as respondent, has everything to do with the physical strength gap and presence gap between men and women. And so, men, boyfriends, husbands, when you feel tempted to withdraw or pull away because your wife or girlfriend seems crazy, that's the moment when you take that captive and go, no, I'm going to lean in and try to live with my woman in an understanding way. I'm going to understand what she's going through. And I'm going to do that because I recognize that I'm secure. I'm made by God. I'm loved unconditionally. I'm saved by grace. And so even as things are tumultuous, my identity is not on the line, that I can move towards her in an understanding way. And so boyfriends, husbands, fiancés, don't be an idiot. Do what you can to live with your wife in an understanding way. Be curious, ask open-ended questions, move towards her. Don't withdraw in insecurity.